times where I had to be like, Jacob, I'm so sorry that I have to say these things to you. I know they're just lines, but I feel terrible saying them.
Hi, Savannah Mandela. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, I'm excited to talk with the sexy vampires of Reginald the Vampire. Maurice and Angela, my God, the chemistry with you guys just jumps off the freaking TV. I mean, you guys, even though you're like antagonists, you know, it's just that chemistry. Like, you kind of want them to get together, but you know, it's a weird dynamic, right?
Yes, it is.
Definitely.
Yep. A love-hate relationship for sure.
Right.
Which has a lot of tension in it.
Yeah. And I think as a viewer, like right away, we see that.
That's good. It's good to come across on film because we're really trying to pump that. You know, we've been around for so long, how we were kind of playing with the idea of how long does it take to, you know, forgive someone, and how long does vengeance really last? And yeah, it's fun.
It was a very fun dynamic to play off of.
And then Mandela, for you, Maurice, you know, when we have the flashback, we think, oh, centuries old vampire, because that's what we're trained to think, right? Yeah. It's like, and you were made in the 70s.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, okay, he's a baby.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know, relatively a baby to other vampires, but it was fun still being able to bring some of those elements of, you know, some of my family members that are older, and just sayings they would have, different ways they wear their clothes. So it's cool to be able to embody some of those characteristics within Maurice.
Yeah, you guys had some hip clothes. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. That was also some of the fun part of bringing in the age as well, was being like, oh, this, you know, having items from, you know, each era that Angela has kind of collected and brought with her. That was really fun to work with costumes for building the character. At least for me, I know that I was very hands-on, which I always am, very hands-on with when it comes to like makeup and hair and costume. It really helps to just get you into the character, and that was a lot of fun. They were very, very generous with allowing me to play a lot, so that was fun.
Yeah, and then we find out what Angela did to cause this shift in the relationship. Like, oh my God, that's so bad.
Oh, it was not that bad.
You mess with his mama.
I know. Well, she got in the way. All she had to do was just close the door and just mind her own business, and everything would have been fine.
How great is Jacob Batalon as Reginald? He is just so freaking adorable. I mean, I don't think I can see anybody else in that role.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. I mean, the kind of energy he brings to the workplace is just infectious. I think if he doesn't get you laughing, something's wrong with you. You know, he's like the guy that everybody enjoys and just lights the room up.
And what I love about the show is that it's so different, because there's tons of vampire shows now. It's ridiculous, you know? And you play off that, you know, sexy, because we always have this image of sexy vampires. But here you have somebody who's kind of an outcast as a vampire. Yeah,
I think our show, Reginald the Vampire, has definitely kind of got a new twist going on the vampire, you know, tale. And it's doing, in my mind, it's a genre bender, you know, it kind of bounces between comedy, horror, drama, coming of age. It's got everything in one. So it's kind of, you know, a full circle show, which I find it refreshing. You know, we haven't seen it yet, so I'm glad that people are enjoying it.
And yeah, there's a light touch of social commentary, which I really love, like that whole dynamic, that prejudice, you know, in the vampire world kind of reflects the real world, right?
Definitely. And I think the writers did an amazing job of sneaking in some of those, you know, current issues, and just even, I mean, everything is just so well written that it kind of flows with the dialogue, and if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, everything kind of just makes sense anyways. But it really just depends on how deeply you want to read into the subtext of what's going on. So
yeah, that's very true. There are layers to everything in the show, definitely. Rewarded for those who pay attention.
Right. And then Savannah, how much fun is it to play this character? It's such a juicy role, you know?
Oh,
You
it's so
kind of play
much
both
fun.
sides. You're very manipulative.
She's very manipulative, and yeah, she's not a nice person at all. There are some things that she says and does where I'm like, oh, that is so mean. I couldn't actually say that in real life. There was a few times where I had to be like, Jacob, I'm so sorry that I have to say these things to you. I know they're just lines, but I feel terrible saying them. Yeah, but it's at the same time, though, from an actor point of view, it is a lot of fun playing a villain and someone who just doesn't care, because it gives you, there's just so much to work with on a normal basis. You know, you do have, most of us have filters and just things that you know, you're like, I wouldn't say that to a person. Or if it passes through your mind, you're like, ooh, that was so mean to say. But villains, there's no filter. They have the freedom to kind of say those things. So it is kind of fun. It is fun to play that, to have permission to just be evil for the moment. And that, yeah, she's a little... What?
I think you do it well.
Secretly, I'm actually a terrible person.
I love your earrings, very appropriate.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, since we're on the subject of vampire genre, who is your favorite vampire or movie, or, well, I guess more movies and TV shows? Do you have one?
Mandela, do you want to go? Do you have one?
I gotta say Blade.
Good choice.
Cool, yeah.
Good choice. I always loved Blade Trinity, the dog. Oh, he's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it is, ooh, this is a hard one, because I love vampire lore. Like, love it. Every version, from the sparkly ones to the demon ones, I love them all. Honestly, probably the first one that comes to my mind in terms of like, yes, is Aaliyah Akasha from Queen of the Damned. I just couldn't get over. I was like, whatever this is, all of it, I'm obsessed with it. I love it. The way she moved, like everything, the way that they had her looking, I loved it. But who's like, there's a lot of like really fun vampires too, though. I'm probably forgetting one that I love, but good old Interview with the Vampire, Lestat. He's fun. He can play the piano really well.
Mine is Charlie Dandridge from Fright Night, Chris Sarandon.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. There's so many I'm probably forgetting. The little girl from Let Me In, or Let the Right One In. Mm-hmm. That's a fun one too. She's creepy.
Yeah, that was a good one. I mean, speaking, you bring up Blade and Aaliyah, those were really great roles. And I forgot, like, oh yeah, that's right. We have some diversity with vampires, and I completely forgot about that. So with you guys representing, I mean, that's, you know, bringing diversity to a genre that's been so overdone, but doing it in a refreshing way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's awesome to kind of put a new twist on a classic story, and, you know, diversity of all different sorts, you know, just not just race or gender, but body type. We got all kind of different twists on this, and I think it makes it interesting and keeps people engaged and kind of fresh. It's a new way of telling it.
It's always fun to see people who look like you on screen.
So I know you can't drop spoilers, but what's a good tease you can leave us with in the upcoming episodes?
Oh man, keep watching. It gets crazy. And as the assessment gets closer and closer, I think the stakes are definitely ramped up. And if you enjoy watching Maurice and Angela, we got some more fun twists for you coming up.
Yes. I mean, he says it all. He says it all. Just keep watching. There's so much fun stuff happening. So a lot more little like twists and turns.